guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Tiffany of Tiffany Gordon Cosplay, and on today's cosplay tutorial, I'm going to be going over with you how to make your very own Dodeko keychain for your Klee backpack, so you can be all fancy dancy. Ooh. And if you missed how I made the backpack as well as how I painted the backpack, you can check out those videos. I'll do a link in the description. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we can begin. And for making this keychain, you're gonna need a little bit of materials such as a chain, wire cutters and pliers, a 3-inch styrofoam ball, floral stem wire, faux fur, black felt, scissors, hot glue and a glue gun, Sharpies, a comb, airbrush paint, airbrush gun and compressor, sealer, 4mm EVA foam, a sewing needle and thread, and of course your safety gear. And for this, I'm going to be using the pattern I made, which is available on my website, www.tiffanygordoncosplay.com, and it comes with a pattern for the backpack as well as a little template for the keychain. And I first started off with the chain part, getting it to be the length that matched with the pattern. And with the use of wire cutters and pliers, I then cut it to the length and then attached it to a plastic chain link that was larger for the top. Next, I got my 3-inch styrofoam ball, and to help it not move around, it fit perfectly in my masking tape. So I put it in there, and then with an X-Acto knife, or you can use scissors, cut a small hole and then inserted the chain part into it and secured it in place with hot glue. The next part I'm going to be talking about is the tail and the ears, and for this I used floral stem wire, tracing about the outer section of the shapes and then cutting it with some wire cutters. You will also want to have it where the wire goes about 1/2 inch to 1 inch longer for the tail, so that way it can insert into the body. I then traced the wire stem onto the back side of faux fur using a Sharpie, giving about 2 to 3 millimeters of space around it. And then cut it out with scissors, and you will also want to do this twice for each piece. And for these pieces, we're going to be sandwiching the wire in between the fabric. So to do this, you're going to want to first put hot glue on one side around the edge of the fabric and place the stem until it cools and will stay attached to the fur. And once that was done, you can apply hot glue to the rest of the surface, and then while it is still hot, place the other side of your fabric to it, pushing it both together and holding in place until it cools. And if there's any spots that aren't fully attached on the edges, you can go back with hot glue and then just trim off any extra with scissors. And I repeated the same process for the ears. And the reason we're using the floral stem wire is so that way all of these pieces you can actually bend to whatever shape that you want, as well as give it more structural support. Now that the tail and the ears are made, it's time to focus on the body. And for this, I grabbed my faux fur, and we're going to be working in small sections on the styrofoam ball, applying hot glue to a small section and then putting the faux fur onto it, and then slowly just working back and forth doing this process. If there's any extra faux fur, you can always trim it, and then just continue to add glue into the holes until it is completely covered. And don't worry, it's going to look a little crazy before it looks good. Now that the body is fully covered, you're going to want to get the tail, see where the bottom part is going to be, get a rough estimate, and then get an X-Acto knife and help punch a little hole where the wire is going to go in, and then insert the tail into the body. Once they are together, put the tail facing upward and then back comb all of the body hair down and all the tail hair up so you can easily see where the two pieces come together, and then with hot glue attach the two to have a better secured area. And repeat this process for the ears. And the fur was a little bit fluffy, so I went back with some scissors and then just trimmed the body so it was a little bit shorter, specifically near the ears, so that way they would show more. Now to paint all the hair. And for this, I used my Iwata Eclipse airbrush gun as well as Createx Colors airbrush paint. I mixed a light brown tan color and applied it to all of the hair. Side note, if you buy actual tan color faux fur, then you don't have to do this step, but I was working with some leftover white scrap fur, so I had to color all of it. And while the paint is still wet, you'll want to get your comb and comb it in the direction that you want the hair to lay. It's very important to do this step while it is still wet because if it dries, then all of the paint is going to be really clumpy throughout the hair and it's not going to look as natural. And the tail has a bit of a darker color at the very bottom, so for this I did a darker brown mixture, pointing the airbrush gun down so that way all of the hair would blow downward instead of upward. And again, comb it. Now for the face. And for this I used black fun fur, tracing the eyes and the nose onto it and then cutting it out with scissors. And I had adhesive backing felt, but the adhesive doesn't work whatsoever, so I used hot glue to attach to the body. And then the chain on this is actually gold, so instead of airbrush painting, I just got some Liquitex Heavy Body Gold acrylic paint and then just applied it onto the chain with a paintbrush, and I did this in a few coats. The last part for making this is the 4-leaf clover, and for this I ended up cutting it out of 4mm EVA foam, heating it up with a heat gun, and then painting it with green airbrush paint. And for attaching it to the chain, I just used hot glue. And the last step for this was to seal the 4-leaf clover, as well as I sealed the chain paint with Createx Colors UV-less clear satin, and this just made it so all of the paint was a consistent shine and would hold together better. Now to attach it to the backpack, and remember to look at reference images because I attached it on the wrong side first and had to redo it to attach it to the actual right side, so yeah. But for this, I marked where I wanted to place it, and then with a needle and some wax thread, I slowly stitched the piece together. I did 3 stitches on either side, tied a knot, and then used some glue to hold the knot in place. And then it was done! And that, guys, is how I made the little Dodoko keychain for my Klee backpack from the game Genshin Impact. I hope you found this video helpful, and if so, let me know in the comments. Like this video and as well subscribe to the channel. And a big thank you to all of my company sponsors as well as all of my legendary members here on YouTube who help support more content videos like this. So consider joining and becoming a member. And I will see you for our next video. Much love, guys.